The end of days, or Armageddon, it's a devastating description of the war where God ultimately will triumph over all evil. And the rabbinic Talmudic tradition actually quotes one rabbi who says, "Let the end of days come, but may I not live to see it."
The conflict between angels and demons, it is a mirror. It's a mirror of what goes on within human beings. It's a mirror of daily life. It's the inner war that goes on within each and every person when, on a daily basis, we have to choose between right and wrong.
The idea of a war between good and evil actually comes from the Persian Empire and the religion of Zoroaster. It's a Zoroastrian concept. They were dualists. They believed that there were two gods. The good god was a god of light, Ahura Mazda, and the bad god was Ahram, the father of lies. And everyone, from angels to men, had to make a choice. Who would they serve? And the idea was that there would become a battleground. What's interesting is they had angels on either side of this question, battling it out, but what were they battling for were the hearts and minds of men.
The war is classically called in the Jewish tradition the war of Gog uMagog. In Hebrew, Milchemet Gog uMagog. Gog was this kind of archetype of evil, a human being. Magog in the Bible is actually a place, but in rabbinic tradition, Magog took upon a characteristic of its own and became Gog's assistant. And here God is fighting the war of Gog uMagog, and this is the ultimate end of days.
In the Western monotheistic traditions, when you have Armageddon, end of days, it's the end of human history. It's the end of time in a way. It's just the end. The way the Hindus conceive of it is there's 4 different yugas or ages, starting with the Satya Yuga and ending with the Kali Yuga. And what it is essentially is it starts with a notion of utopia and it ends with a notion of dystopia.
Interesting to note, in the Islamic tradition, it's a very similar story to the Armageddon in the Christian tradition. Many Muslims believe that Jesus will return at the end of time, that there will be a great battle in the Middle East, and that ultimately the righteous will prevail, and all of creation will perish, and then be resurrected again on the Day of Judgment.
God's will is a really interesting and bewildering thing, because who's to say that he doesn't really want that to happen because that's what's happening? You know, who's to say that he didn't want Lucifer to fall? You know, who's to say that Lucifer, you know, rebelled and God didn't expect it? You know, God needs the devil to exist. He needs humans to be able to make a choice between good and evil, because there's no value in choosing good if there's no choice.
What is above is below. So we have a mirror of this battle fought between good and evil here on earth. And the forces of both sides are manifest, invisibly perhaps, but urging people to do terrible things or urging them to do great things.
It's not that there's in any real sense, a battle going on.